Hey guys, welcome back to Broadway Grosses. Sorry for the late video, but let's get into the grosses. Some very interesting stuff has happened this week, including New York closing like I predicted, and I think Once Upon One More Time is next. So let's get into the video. And Juliet went from 98.77 to 98.75, going from 1,198,611 to 1,248,607. Again, nothing more to say about And Juliet. It continues to dominate at the box office and is one of the most successful new musicals of this season. A Beautiful Noise is not doing so beautiful, going from 62% to 58% and 757K to 721K. I predict this will close by Labor Day. It is not making $1 million. The summer is halfway over. July is the best month, and it's not even close to $1 million. And, hey, they might want to make it till the end of the year, but based on how it's doing in the summer, it's not going to do any better in the fall. Back to the Future went from 98.15 to 97.39 and 1,200K to 1,376,420 for 8 performances. This is a juggernaut of a musical. It is doing amazing business, and you can't hate on it, even though I don't like it as a musical. Funny Girl went from 84.66 to 80.45 and 1,479 to 1,319,864. Again, doing amazing business. Hamilton went from 101.19 to 101.42 and 1,846,627 to 1,892,562. Here Lies Love went from 98.12 to 99.73 for 8 performances, going from 785K to 760K. And again, they were opening this week, so the average ticket was a little less expensive. It did not get the best reactions from the critics, but I think a lot of it had to focus on the dictatorship versus the actual art and show itself, but that's another conversation. Again, are these numbers good? No, for a show of this magnitude, it's pretty bad. It's not great. But again, hopefully it can build up that momentum. But again, it's still, the jury is still out on this one. I'm not sure about it. Akimbo is gonna close in January for certain, going from 680K to 686K and 92.24 to 94.31. Again, it's actually doing worse than A Strange Loop was doing, and it's just not posting numbers that convince me that it will be here 1 year from now. Mulan Rouge went from 96.60 to 99.37 and 1,200,200 to 1,191,453, which again is soft numbers for this show, but that's because it's so expensive and any show would kill for these kind of numbers, but it's doing fine. New York is closing this weekend, a very abrupt announcement, going from 68% to 69% and 692K to 685K. Very, very poor numbers, and again, no one is surprised, me the least, and yeah, it was a flop. Once Upon One More Time went from 56% to 51% and 627K to 550K. Put this poor musical out of its misery. It doesn't need to be here anymore. It's a wrap. We have seen this again and again and again. Another flop at the Marquee Theater. This will be gone, hands down, by Labor Day. I think it will close next month. Parade went from 100% to 102% and 1,344,466 to 1,295,630, making big bucks in its final couple of weeks. Shirked went from 88.33 to 88.56 and 739K to 789K, which again is pretty decent numbers. But again, I think it will be here till at least January, but who knows? Again, like 789,000 is better, but again, most musicals don't want to be in the 7s and 6s. They want the 8s and the 9s, and with how much money they lost in previews, they were maybe expecting with the viral marketing campaign, they would make 900K, 800K, $1 million. And I don't see that happening. And, you know, they did try and replicate the Beetlejuice formula, but it doesn't seem to really translated into the box office because it's not making $1 million. And that would convince me and make me more confident. Even having an 8 in front of it would be more confidence boosting. But again, I still predict this will not be here a year from now. 6 went from 932K to 968K, from 95% to 94%. Some Like It Hot went from 77.89 to 79.70, going from 894K to 936K. Again, this has been the best performing box office musical of this past season. It's even done better than Completely Akimbo. So I do think this will stick around until at least January, even though some people were saying it's going to close in September. And I think it's doing good enough business that producers are going to be convinced to have it stick around in the fall. But I think it will close in January along with Shocked. And then NYNY went from 1,805,510 to 1,830,235 with 100% capacity. So those are the grosses for this week. Overall, not a lot of extreme changes or unexpected things. I mean, if you were following my videos, you knew that New York was on the verge of death. And Once Upon a One More Time, bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow this will be the next thing to close. 1 month from now, I don't think it will be here. Or if it is, it will be closing. So those are the grosses. Like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you next week. Peace.